Over 20% of the world's oil can be shaken by a single strike, and most people don't even notice until prices hit their wallet. Imagine waking up, filling your car, and paying more, not because of anything you did, but because of a fire thousands of miles away. Sounds unreal, right? But this is how the hidden system of global energy works: fast, fragile, and deeply connected to your daily life. Now here's the part no one tells you. These events are not just random explosions or breaking news headlines. They are signals, power moves, and chain reactions that ripple through markets, governments, and even your grocery bill. Within hours, traders react, prices shift, and fear spreads faster than facts. And while it looks like chaos, there is often a deeper pattern playing out behind the scenes. So the real question is, are you just watching the news, or are you understanding the system controlling your money, fuel, and future? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Number 10. Strategic energy choke points at risk. There's a reason experts always watch a few narrow routes on the world map. These are called energy choke points, and they control the flow of oil like a valve controls water. One of the most critical is the Strait of Hormuz, where about 1/5 of the world's oil passes every single day. That means a single disruption here does not stay local, it spreads fast. When a strike happens near key energy routes or facilities, markets react within minutes because they know how fragile this system really is. The hidden mechanic is simple but powerful. Oil does not just move, it moves through pressure points. When one point is threatened, even if supply has not yet dropped, fear alone can drive prices up. Traders begin to price in what could happen next, not just what already happened. This creates a psychological surge in global markets, where anticipation becomes as powerful as reality. In past events, even rumors near choke points have caused sharp price spikes, proving that perception can move billions of dollars before a single barrel is lost. So what does this mean for you? It means you are connected to these distant routes more than you think. Your fuel cost, your food prices, even transport fares, all depend on these narrow passages staying open. A smart move is to track fuel price trends weekly and reduce unnecessary travel when volatility begins. Build small habits now, like combining trips or saving fuel where possible. Because when these choke points shake, the impact does not knock, it quietly enters your daily expenses. If this opened your eyes, tell us this: what's one hidden system you now see differently in your daily life? Your insight might wake someone else up. Before you go, watch our previous video where we break down another powerful chain reaction shaping your future. We put hours of deep research and effort into every video to bring you clarity. So subscribe to our channel. It's just one click and keeps this mission alive. Number 9. Escalation of proxy conflicts. What looks like a direct attack is often just the surface of a deeper game. In today's world, many conflicts are not fought openly between two countries. Instead, they move through proxy groups, smaller forces backed quietly by bigger powers. This creates a layered battlefield where actions are indirect, but the consequences are very real. When a strike happens, it may not be about immediate damage. It can be a signal sent through a third party, designed to test limits without triggering full-scale war. The hidden mechanic here is control without exposure. Major powers avoid direct conflict, but still push influence through others. This keeps tensions alive while reducing risk on the surface. But it also makes situations harder to predict. One move can trigger another, not in a straight line, but in a chain of reactions across different regions. Intelligence studies show that proxy conflicts increase uncertainty because you are not just tracking one actor, you are tracking multiple hidden players with different goals. This is why situations can escalate suddenly, even when things seem calm. For you, this means the news you see may be only part of the story. What is visible is often just the tip of a much larger system. A smart approach is to follow multiple reliable sources and compare perspectives instead of trusting a single headline. Look for patterns, not just events. Ask simple questions like, who benefits from this and why now? These habits help you stay grounded when information becomes confusing. Because in proxy conflicts, understanding the hidden connections is more powerful than reacting to the visible noise. Number 8. Vulnerability of oil infrastructure. Oil facilities may look massive and powerful, but in reality, they're surprisingly fragile systems with critical weak points. Refineries, storage tanks, and pipelines are designed for efficiency, not defense. This means a single well-placed strike can disrupt millions of barrels per day. When a major site is hit, the damage is not just physical. It interrupts flow, delays processing, and creates uncertainty across the entire supply chain. Experts know that you do not need to destroy everything, you only need to break one key link. The hidden mechanic lies in how tightly connected these systems are. Oil infrastructure works like a chain, and every link depends on the next. If a refinery slows down, transport backs up. If storage is damaged, supply cannot move forward. This creates a ripple effect where small disruptions grow into larger shortages. Research in energy systems shows that high-efficiency networks are often less resilient, meaning they recover slower after shocks. So even a short disruption can lead to longer-term instability, especially when demand stays constant but supply suddenly tightens. For everyday life, this translates into something very real. When oil stops flowing smoothly, prices begin to climb quietly but steadily. Transport costs rise, which then pushes up food and goods. A practical step is to watch fuel price patterns and adjust early, not after prices spike. Try to plan essential travel, avoid waste, and stay aware of supply news. These small actions may seem minor, but they build resilience. Because when infrastructure is hit, the system does not fail loudly, it tightens slowly, and everyone feels the pressure over time. Number 7. Global market panic reactions. When a major strike hits the headlines, financial markets do not wait for full facts. They react fast, often within minutes. This is because markets are not driven only by logic. They are driven by human emotion, fear, and anticipation. Traders around the world begin to buy and sell based on what they think will happen next, not what has already happened. This creates sudden spikes and drops, where billions of dollars move before the real impact is even clear. Speed becomes more powerful than accuracy in these moments. The hidden mechanic is known as panic-driven momentum. Once prices start moving, more traders jump in, not wanting to be left behind. This creates a chain reaction where movement feeds on itself. Studies in behavioral finance show that people fear losses more than they value gains, which makes negative news spread faster and hit harder. As a result, even a small disruption can trigger a large market response. The system becomes highly sensitive, where expectation alone can inflate prices without any real shortage yet existing. For you, this means the first reaction you see is often not the most reliable one. The initial shock is usually emotional, not stable. A smart approach is to pause and wait at least 48 hours before making financial decisions based on breaking news. Watch how the situation develops instead of reacting instantly. This applies to fuel buying, investments, or even large purchases. Staying calm gives you an advantage while others act on fear, because in global markets, those who control their reaction often avoid the hidden cost of panic. Number 6. Energy price shock transmission. When oil prices jump, the impact does not stay in the energy sector. It moves fast and spreads wide. This is called price shock transmission, and it affects almost every part of daily life. Fuel becomes more expensive first, but then transport costs rise, and soon after, food and basic goods follow. This happens because energy sits at the base of almost every supply chain. From farming machines to delivery trucks, everything depends on fuel. So when oil shifts, the entire system adjusts upward, often quietly at first. The hidden mechanic is how quickly this effect multiplies. One price increase triggers another, then another, forming a chain reaction across sectors. Businesses adjust prices to protect profit, and those changes pass down to consumers. Research in economic systems shows that energy-driven inflation can appear within days, especially in highly connected markets. What makes this more intense is that wages do not adjust at the same speed, so while costs rise quickly, income often stays the same. This creates a pressure gap where everyday expenses begin to feel heavier without a clear reason. For you, the key is early awareness and small adjustments. Do not wait until prices peak. Act when you see the first signs of movement. Start by tracking fuel trends weekly and reviewing your monthly spending. cut or delay non-essential expenses and focus on what truly matters. Even simple actions like reducing energy use at home or planning efficient travel can make a difference. These steps may seem small, but they add up over time, because when price shocks spread, those who adapt early feel less impact than those who react late.
Number 5. Political signaling and power plays. Not every strike is meant to win a battle. Many are designed to send a message without saying a word. This is known as political signaling, where actions speak louder than official statements. A targeted attack on an oil site can signal strength, warning, or retaliation. It tells other players, we can reach you and we can affect what matters. In global strategy, energy is not just a resource, it is leverage. And when that leverage is used, the real goal is often influence, not destruction. The hidden mechanic is timing and audience. These actions are carefully placed to be seen by the right people at the right moment. It may look sudden, but behind it is planning, pressure, and intent. Governments and analysts study not just what happened, but when it happened and who benefits. Research in geopolitical strategy shows that signals are often sent during moments of tension, negotiation, or shifting alliances. This creates a layered message where one event can carry different meanings for different observers. It is not just about the target, it is about the reaction it triggers across the system. For you, this means looking deeper than headlines. Do not just ask, what happened? Ask, why now? Try to understand the context behind the action. Follow patterns over time instead of reacting to one event. This helps you stay informed without being overwhelmed. When you see these signals clearly, you begin to understand how power moves shape the world around you. Because in global conflicts, the loudest action is often a quiet message meant for those who are paying attention.
Number 4. Risk of wider regional war. What begins as a single strike can quickly grow into something much larger. This is because many regions are connected through alliances, rivalries, and mutual defense agreements. When one actor is hit, others may feel pressure to respond, even if they were not directly involved at first. This creates a chain reaction of retaliation, where each move increases tension. History shows that conflicts rarely stay contained when multiple interests are at stake. One spark in a tense region can spread faster than expected. The hidden mechanic is escalation through obligation and perception. Countries do not just react to damage, they react to what the action represents. A strike can be seen as a threat, a test, or even a challenge to authority. This forces leaders to respond in order to maintain credibility and control. Strategic studies show that miscalculation is one of the biggest drivers of escalation, where one side underestimates the reaction of another. In these moments, even small actions can carry heavy meaning, and decisions made under pressure often increase risk instead of reducing it. For you, this means watching patterns, not just events. Do not assume a situation will stay limited just because it starts small. Pay attention to responses, statements, and movements that follow an incident. This gives clues about where things may go next. A practical step is to stay updated over several days instead of reacting to a single headline, and avoid making rushed decisions based on early reports. Because when tensions rise, it is not the first move that defines the outcome, it is the reactions that follow that shape the future. Number 3. Cyber and hybrid warfare expansion. Modern conflict no longer stays on the battlefield. It moves silently through networks, systems, and screens. Alongside physical strikes, there is often a second layer, cyber and hybrid warfare. This includes attacks on communication systems, financial networks, and even energy control systems. While explosions grab attention, these hidden actions work in the background, disrupting operations without immediate visibility. The real damage is often not what you see, but what quietly stops working. The hidden mechanic is coordination. Physical and digital attacks are often timed together to amplify impact. For example, a strike on an oil site may be paired with a cyber disruption that delays response or spreads confusion. Research in modern security studies shows that hybrid warfare increases efficiency by targeting both infrastructure and information at the same time. This creates a situation where systems fail, data becomes unreliable, and decision-making slows down. In such moments, control over information becomes just as powerful as control over territory. For you, this means the risk is not only distant, it can reach into your daily digital life. Stay alert to unusual online activity, protect your accounts, and avoid reacting to unverified information. During global tensions, misinformation often spreads quickly, adding to confusion. A simple but powerful step is to verify news from multiple trusted sources before believing or sharing it. Also, strengthen your basic digital security, like using strong passwords and enabling two-step verification, because in today's world, the battlefield is not just physical, it exists wherever systems, data, and people are connected. Number 2. Supply chain domino effect. When energy systems take a hit, the impact does not stay in one place. It spreads through what experts call a supply chain domino effect. This means one disruption triggers another, then another, until the whole system feels the strain. Oil is a core input for transport, production, and delivery, so when its flow slows down, goods take longer to move, costs rise, and delays begin to stack up across industries. What starts as a distant event quickly shows up in empty shelves or higher prices. The hidden mechanic is timing and buildup. Supply chains are designed for speed, not shock resistance. Many systems rely on just-in-time delivery, which means there is very little backup when something goes wrong. Research in logistics shows that even a short delay at one point can create longer delays downstream, especially when demand stays high. This creates a bottleneck effect, where goods pile up in one place and become scarce in another. Over time, this imbalance grows, and shortages can appear even when total supply has not fully collapsed. For you, this means preparation should be calm and smart, not reactive. Do not wait for shortages to become obvious. Act when early signs appear. Keep a small zapas of essential items that you use regularly, like food and basic supplies, without overstocking. Plan purchases ahead and avoid last-minute rush buying. Also, stay flexible with alternatives if certain products become hard to find. These simple steps reduce stress when systems slow down, because when supply chains shift, those who prepare early move smoothly, while others get caught in the delay. Number 1. Direct impact on your daily life. It may feel distant, but the effects of global conflict show up right where you live. You do not need to be near the event to feel its impact. The system is connected in ways most people never notice. When oil prices shift, transport costs rise. When transport rises, food and daily goods follow. This creates a quiet pressure that builds over time. You may not see the cause, but you feel the result when you pay more for fuel, groceries, or services. The impact is indirect, but it is deeply personal. The hidden mechanic is how smoothly these costs pass through the system. Businesses adjust prices step by step, often without clear signals to consumers. There is no single moment when everything becomes expensive. Instead, it happens gradually, making it harder to detect early. Economic studies show that small increases across many areas can feel heavier than one large change because they affect multiple parts of your life at once. This creates a steady drain on your budget, where expenses rise quietly while income often stays the same. For you, awareness is your strongest advantage. Track your spending regularly and notice small changes before they grow. Look at your fuel costs, food bills, and monthly expenses with a simple check each week. Cut non-essential spending early and focus on what truly matters. Even small adjustments like reducing waste or planning purchases can protect your finances over time. These steps are not about fear, they're about control. Because in a connected world, those who stay aware and adapt early feel less pressure than those who react too late. When you step back and look at the full picture, a clear pattern begins to form. What seems like a distant strike or isolated event is actually part of a deeply connected global system that quietly shapes your everyday life. From energy routes to supply chains, from market reactions to political signals, everything links together in ways most people never see. Your freedom to spend, travel, and plan your future is influenced by forces far beyond your control. And the most powerful part is this: these changes do not arrive with warning. They build slowly, then show up all at once in your daily routine. The real impact is not just higher prices or temporary stress, it is the gradual shift in how much control you truly have over your own life. When fuel rises, your movement becomes limited. When costs increase, your choices become narrower. Over time, this can affect your lifestyle, your savings, and even your long-term goals. Studies in economic behavior show that small financial pressures repeated over time can reduce decision-making power, forcing people to focus only on short-term needs. This is how large global events quietly shape personal freedom without direct force. But there is one advantage you still hold: awareness. When you understand the system, you stop reacting blindly and start making smarter decisions. You begin to see patterns early, adjust your habits, and protect your resources before pressure builds. This is not about fear, it is about clarity and control. Because in a world driven by hidden connections, those who see the system clearly are the ones who keep their stability, protect their wallet, and stay one step ahead. If this opened your eyes, tell us this: what's one hidden system you now see differently in your daily life? Your insight might wake someone else up. Before you go, watch our previous video where we break down another powerful chain reaction shaping your future. We put hours of deep research and effort into every video to bring you clarity, so subscribe to our channel. It's just one click and keeps this mission alive.